Okay, let's just jump right in. Have you ever been typing something and just paused and thought, wait a minute, why is everything written like this?
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. It's everywhere in our digital lives. You see it in brand names like YouTube and PowerPoint. You definitely see it in social media hashtags like hashtag college student problems. There's this total lack of spaces, but this very specific way of using capital letters. And you know what? It's not random. It's actually a really clever solution to a very old problem.
And that problem, well, it all starts with how computers think, or rather how they don't think. It all comes down to the problem with spaces. Right, so here's the core of it. To you and me, a space is just, well, empty space. It's a pause between words. But to a computer program, a space is a signal. It's an order. It basically shouts, hey, stop what you're doing, this word is done, get ready for the next command. And that, as you can imagine, creates a huge mess when you want to give something a name that has more than one word. So let's say a programmer needs to tell the computer about the end file. If they just type it out with spaces, the computer gets totally confused. It sees three separate things, end, of, and file. It has no idea they belong together. So people came up with solutions. Some languages used hyphens. Others, like the C programming language, started using the underscore, a style we now call snake case. But then a third, kind of elegant idea popped up. What if we just got rid of the spaces altogether and used a capital letter to show where the new word begins?
And that solution got a fantastic name, one that perfectly describes how it looks. So let's meet the camel.
This right here is what we call camel case. And yeah, the name is pretty literal. Those capital letters sticking up in the middle of the word, they look just like a camel's hump. The super formal technical name is medial capitals, which really just means capitals in the middle. And it gets even better, because there are actually two main flavors of this. You've got lower camel case, where the very first word starts with a small letter. You can think of it like a dromedary camel, with just that one hump. Then there's upper camel case, where the first word is also capitalized. This is sometimes called Pascal case, and it's like a Bactrian camel, with its two humps. It's such a simple little visual trick to remember the difference. The name itself has this great little origin story. Back in 1995, a programmer named Newton Love posted online that he almost called it humpy case because of the, humpiness of the style. But he eventually settled on the much catchier camel case. It's just a cool reminder that all these technical terms we use were made up by real people trying to describe something new. So this was a great trick for programmers. But how in the world did this quirky coding style escape from the lab and show up in, business and pop culture? Believe it or not, the basic idea is super old. You can see a version of it way back in 1813 with chemical formulas like NaCl, but its life in technology really kicked off in the 1970s. Programmers at the legendary Xerox PARC started using it, partly because, and this is a great detail, their keyboards didn't have an underscore key. They were forced into it. Then, by the 80s, you start seeing it in brand names. The dot-com boom of the 90s made it absolutely iconic with companies like eBay. And now, today, it's basically essential for making giant hashtags readable for all of us, and especially for screen readers. But here's the thing. Camel case isn't just some weird habit that coders picked up. It's a rule. And it's just one piece of a much, much larger system that programmers use every single day. Think of it this way. If you're trying to build something massive, like a skyscraper or, say, an app, you can't have every single person on the team just making up their own rules. You need a shared blueprint. You need a plan. In the world of programming, that blueprint is called a style guide. It's basically a rule book that the whole team agrees to follow, and it covers everything. From how you indent a line of code to, yes, exactly how you name things. The whole point is to make sure everyone is speaking the same language, so the code stays clean, consistent, and easy for anyone to understand. So let's take a quick peek inside a real style guide from a company like Google. When it comes to the code for websites, they say things like, use all lowercase for your tags, no shouting. They also say to use code for its real purpose. If it's a link, use the link tag, not some generic box. And this one is huge. They say you have to keep the structure of your website, its visual design, and its functionality in completely separate files.
Now, I know. This can all seem a little obsessive, right? All these tiny, nitpicky rules, but they are the absolute bedrock of the entire digital world. It really all boils down to this one single powerful idea.
Whether we're talking about camel case or separating your code into different files, every single one of these rules is designed to do one thing: create clarity. It's about getting rid of confusion so that both people and computers know exactly what's going on.
And this isn't a new idea. It's baked into the very foundation of the web. This quote here is from the standard for SGML, which is basically the granddaddy of HTML. And what it's saying is that your code should focus on describing meaning, what something is, not just what it looks like. So say, this is a major headline, don't just say make this text big and bold. It's a subtle shift, but it makes everything stronger and more flexible. So why does any of this matter to you? Well, because these conventions, these little rules, are what allow thousands of developers all over the world to work together on the apps you use every single day. It's what lets them fix bugs or add new features years after something was first built. It's what makes sure that websites are usable for people with disabilities. These simple rules are the invisible glue holding our entire digital world together. So the next time you see a name like PowerPoint or you type out a long hashtag, you'll know it's not just a cute branding choice. It's a little fossil, a piece of history from a time when someone found a clever solution to a tricky problem. Which really just leaves one last question. Now that you can see this one, what other hidden rules are out there, quietly shaping the world all around us?